2018 Nissan Leaf. It all starts with a better battery. Not a bigger battery, because this one fits into the same space under the seats as the one before it, but thanks to advances in energy density and battery chemistry, the 2018 Nissan Leaf has crammed 40 kilowatt-hours into the space previously taken up by 30 kilowatt-hours. For reference, a kilowatt-hour, or kWh, is equal to the energy used by your 1000-watt hairdryer if it's left on for 60 minutes. The number of kWhs equals the size of the gas tank on an electric car. More kWh equals more range. That means the 2018 Leaf will go 150 miles on a charge. Most electric cars on the market make it a little over 100 miles on a charge. Then at the top of the class are a couple cars that go over 200 miles, like the Chevy Bolt, which exists, and the Tesla Model 3, which doesn't, at least not in any significant numbers. Nissan says the 150-mile range of the 2018 Leaf occupies the white space between lower range EVs and those range-topping segment leaders. Nissan hopes this means a gold mine in sales. In addition to a better battery, Nissan upgraded the car's power inverter from 80 kilowatts to 110 kilowatts. That means output goes up to 147 horsepower, an increase of 37%, with peak to work up 26% to a sapling pulling 236 pounds to foot, so you have a broadly usable and potentially even a little thrilling, maybe, dash performer. Then Nissan added technology to the package. Among the new Technobits, the company seems most proud of its optional ProPilot Assist, which it kept saying is not an autopilot. ProPilot Assist is a hands-on driver assist, clarified one exec at the Leaf presentation. It requires that you keep at least one hand on the wheel. It is a support system and assist system. It is not self-driving. We still need a driver. It's purely assisting the driver. It's not driving. Got that? Is it an autopilot? No. It will help to steer the car if it can identify two-lane lines, and it will operate the accelerator and brake pedals for you. However, when ProPilot Assist is on, you have to wiggle the steering wheel at least every 10 seconds or it starts beeping at you. If you continue to ignore it, it eventually assumes you've had a heart attack and slows to a stop with the emergency flashes on. Tesla at least gives you 2 minutes of hands-free driving. Nissan seemed second most proud of the Leaf's new e-pedal feature, standard on all models. It's essentially a fourth driving mode, after normal, eco and B for braking. In e-pedal mode, the amount of regen is controlled by how much you lift your foot off the accelerator pedal. In theory, they say, you might never need to touch the brake pedal, which will make for easier driving. The new Leaf also gets a slicker new exterior design. That's what's called a floating roofline on top and a V-motion layered grille in front. Inside, the dash is centered around a new 7-inch touchscreen, embracing the trend toward iPad-like singularity of EV dashboards. You can get Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, and you can even get Amazon's Alexa to warm up the cabin before you leave the house on a cold day. Or just do it via your smartphone with the Nissan Leaf app. So, bearing all this in mind, off I drove in a new Leaf to try it all out. First thing I noticed, and I mean right out of the parking lot, was the increased power and torque. This thing is fast, or at least faster than the last Leaf. Granted, fast is relative in this part of the electric car market. But you will notice it, too. I must try a 0-60, I told the voices in my head. But the damned voices forgot to remind me, and I can't tell you how much faster is to 60 miles per hour, sorry. I hope to get another one soon and give you a number. Nissan doesn't list one. The older one got to 60 in about 10 seconds, and I'd guess this one's about 8 seconds to 60. No Tesla Model S, but it'll get out of its own way. The steering is much improved, too. Nissan didn't mention it in the presentation I got beforehand, but the electric power steering has new software and a 10% increase in steering torsion bar stiffness, which makes for a surprisingly more sprightly feel, again, by the standards of the class. The steering column itself only tilts a little bit and doesn't telescope, which must have been some sort of cost-cutting measure.